in boxing. Man in boxing, led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV.
What's going on? Make sure you check out our new sponsor, Cell Phone Buyers Recyclers. They pay cash for smartphones and tablets. Like and share their social media pages, Facebook and Instagram, and websites in the description for a chance to win an iPhone. What you waiting on? Hurry up and go get that iPhone.
All right, man. It's your boy, Goodfellas Sports TV, boy CJ Goodfellas. Appreciate everybody for checking back in. The coronavirus got all these boxers, talking in language they ain't never talked before. Before you ask Andrew Ruiz about fighting Luis Ortiz, he was on Fox saying, sound like my old Cougar car when the battery died. Like now all of a sudden he asking the fans on social media, do they want to see him fight Luis Ortiz? So I think reality starting to kick in when the ball get to rolling again, when the rubber hit the ground, that in order to maintain the lifestyle, to maintain getting money in my Kevin Hart voice, and they got to fight tough opponents. And I think Al probably sent the CC a memo out letting them know ain't no more, tune-ups and all this. We get the ground running. We got to fight real ops, And as far as, Ortiz, he also took to social media the other day saying that, that he want to rematch with AJ. You know what I'm saying? And he don't want the rematch with AJ. He just want the payday. All right, that's all it boiled down to. He want the payday with AJ. AJ got an IBF mandatory, then the WBO mandatory, Brosworth, Pulev, and then Alexander Usyk. Since he want to be named Alexander Usyk now, he done got a little Americanized and shit, man. And it's an A. But in my opinion, Ortiz is a good fight for the fans. It's a fight that I approve. Hopefully, it's on Fox or FS1, bare minimum Showtime, and they don't try to put a pay-per-view stamp on it, or they can slide my Silent Baby voice on that Wilder Fury 2 undercard. If I haven't posted my reaction to the Wilder interview, it will be coming up. So, I'm with it. I'm with either or. If they can make the AJ rematch, but that will happen when you didn't handle your business the second time, bro. And I have my reservations about what happened there. I believe he took a dive. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion on it. No way, you come to the biggest fight of your career, you come in all fat and sloppy. He must have been watching the Great White Hype and thought he'd still get the job done, right? But, he laid his own bed. You understand why Andrew Ruiz is in the position he was in before, coming to Premier Boxing Champions, Bob Arum. Of course he would love to promote a Mexican heavyweight, but Andrew Ruiz got the work ethic of a child. He don't work hard. You can see he childish in the brain. He didn't stand up for Manny Robles, this dude who provided him shelter and his family shelter when he was broke and down on his knuckles. And you just see right then and there, Mexicans, they usually, loyal to each other. He wasn't loyal to Manny. I can't respect that. I still mad at Badou Jack for breaking up with Eddie Mustafa Muhammad over a text message. You don't break up with no legend over no text message. And, I don't care who Al Heyman thought he was. I'm like, no, Manny Robles, stay. Care how much money he made me. If you want to sit me on the shelf, sit me on the shelf. But I'm not kicking Manny Robles out. But he's still working with other Al Heyman fighters like Charles Martin. So, but as far as the Ortiz fight, Andrew Ruiz got fast hands. Ortiz is very, very patient. You know what I'm saying? Just like all Cuban fighters, they got a mechanism that won't let them throw more than 3 punches at a time. You lucky if you get them to throw 3 punches at a time. So it's an interesting matchup. I'm not high on Ortiz like a lot of other people is. I'll probably, depending on what type of shape Andrew Ruiz in, I think Luis Ortiz is going to be in tremendous shape. I think I would probably favor. Coming out this, I'll probably favor Ortiz, but if Andy Ruiz got a good coach and he in shape, I think Andy is a better fighter. But given the coronavirus, knowing Andy not disciplined, knowing that he don't have a coach to roll right into a Luis Ortiz fight, I'm just favoring Ortiz. But I think Andy, at his best is a better fighter, but he ain't no longer at his best. Ortiz, I think he one of the most overrated heavyweights in recent history. He technically, he in a situation where he in an era where there's nobody else like him. It's technical and southpaw and, really, really good fighter like him. But, I seen him struggle with Tony Thompson, who was about 50,000 years old and out of shape and took it on short notice. See him struggle with Malik Scott, cutting the ring off. But Andy Ruiz, if he used the ring and box and go lateral, he can He can pick some things. He can do some things. But probably Ortiz, I trust his discipline outside the ring, and he might put himself in a title situation real soon again. But with Dillian Whyte out there, I don't understand why Andy Ruiz just don't roll to a Dillian Whyte fight. You know, they can scrap the Povetkin fight, and they can do Dillian Whyte or Ruiz. But you know, Ortiz is dangerous. I think Ortiz is more dangerous at this point than Dillian Whyte, from the aspect of Dillian Whyte don't have no discipline either. He blew up in between fights. You know, his motherfucker said he be training. He come in with a ball of belly. You feel me? You know, and also I just think that, you know, Luis Ortiz is, knowing this is his last hurrah. You know what I'm saying? This could be his last fight on this stage, and he can go on if he loses this fight as an opponent. So Ortiz is dangerous. When you got somebody that's on their last stand, he dangerous. You know what I'm saying? I said that about Danny Garcia if he fight Errol Spence next. He dangerous. He on his last stand. You know, if he lose that fight, he didn't fought all the top PBC welterweights. He can't move up and beat nobody. So it's basically time to become the opponent, the journeyman, or it's time to retire. Same thing for Luis Ortiz. You know, once you lose to if you lose to Andy Ruiz, now you just an opponent. You just a journeyman. You just a stepping stone. You know, so them dudes like that's locked in and notice their last chance to really get money in the sport for real and be on the main event type of stage, they dangerous, man. They dangerous, man. But it'd be interesting. Or, you know, Teddy Atlas say Andy Ruiz combinations are, what he say, redundant. I paraphrase, and I agree. And when you come in with redundant combinations, Ortiz is the type of guy that can punch with you, counter punch. You know, and if Ortiz can counter punch with you, touch him to the body a little bit, slow him down. You know, I think Ortiz packing more punching power, but Ortiz only throw 1-2 shots at a time. Lucky to get him throw 3 at a time. And that's something they can't change out of him. That's why he couldn't beat Wilder. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't throw enough punches. But he is taller than Andy Ruiz. But to me, Andy Ruiz got to make this fight. He got to come forward and push Luis Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Once you move backwards, even though that's your best chance, it's boxing Ortiz on the back foot and walking him into something, you know what I'm saying, and keep him at a distance because he can't cut the ring off. It just make for a boring fight. And Andy Ruiz ain't had too many boring fights in his career. So, you know, for it to be an exciting fight, Andy Ruiz got to walk towards Luis Ortiz, in my Wilder voice. He got to walk towards him. If he don't walk towards him, it's basically like it's gonna be Ortiz trying to catch Andy Ruiz, man. It's gonna be a boring fight. But if Andy walk Ortiz down and put the pressure on, and that's most Cuban fighters, other than like Gamboa, you know what I'm saying, of recent history. You know, if you gotta have the right opponent, you gotta have the right opponent for Lara. You know, if you don't pressure Lara, you try to box Lara, it's a boring fight. If you get the Jair Hurds and Fredo Angulos, you get the Brian Castanos, you get a great fight. You get the Carlos Molinas, you know, you get guys like that, it's a boring fight. Terrell Goucher. So you got to match the Cuban fighters up with certain styles, not because they can't beat other styles, because that's the only way you can get them TV friendly. So, you know, Ortiz got to be in there with a guy that's going to walk him down. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for Lara. You know, if you want to make them the main event, you put them in there with another boxer. Like you put Lara and Floyd Mayweather in the ring together, I mean, the whole arena probably going to walk out or go to sleep. You know, matchmaking plays an important part of boxing, you know what I'm saying? Because it plays a great part because it's all about television-friendly fights. They can't put 2 snoozers on a card as the main event, no matter if they're the best in the world. There's no way they could have put Lara and Floyd Mayweather, even on free TV on there. The viewership would have dipped because it's a boring fight. Nobody want to see a sparring session. That's what it would have been. It would have been a tactical sparring session. So when you look at the Cuban fighters, there's just certain fighters you can't match them up against. And the good thing about it is nobody really clamoring to see them fight. You know what I'm saying? That's the great thing about it. Nobody really clamoring to see these Cuban guys fight, so you can get away with it, matchmaking them the right way. So, you know, I think Ruiz on the front foot is going to be a great fight for Ortiz, man. It may be the rejuvenation of Luis Ortiz. He may get a Wilder trilogy, you know, depending on what happens with Wilder. I think a win, lose, or draw. So, Luis Ortiz, you know, is right back in the pocket where he need to be. And I think Andy Ruiz is going to fight him in the pocket, and I think you're going to see a classic on the comeback. But I only favor Luis Ortiz because he going to be in shape, and I trust his work ethic during the coronavirus more than Andy Ruiz. And I trust his maturity level a lot more than Andy Ruiz. So it's the only reason I favor him to beat Andy right now. But let me know what you guys think Andy got a coach. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to me there. If you have a business question, inquiry, sponsor, video question, you want to chop it up, want to make a donation, Cash App, PayPal description. Best way to donate is share the video. And yeah, check out Heavyweight Boxing playlist for more videos like this. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfella, Goodfella Sports TV. We go.